Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. As you know, we are a non-commercial initiative of just two people and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the apps, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we are getting better. My name is Artem and here is the news. For 255 days, Ukraine stands strong against the forces of the Russian invasion. Iran admitted for the first time that it supplied drones to Moscow, but said they were sent before the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, reports European Pravda. The Iranian Foreign Ministry said that a small number of drones had been delivered to Russia months before its forces invaded Ukraine on February 24th. At the same time, the ministry denied that Tehran continues to supply drones to Moscow. Iran's foreign ministry reiterated that it will not remain indifferent if it is proven that Russia used Iranian drones in the war against Ukraine. Earlier media reported, based on anonymous sources among the Iranian and Western officials, that Iran promised to supply hundreds more drones and start to supply missiles to Russia. At the same time, photos available to the German media Bild showed Iranian cargo plane unloading at a Russian airport this week. According to the media, plane took off from Tehran early Thursday morning and landed at the cargo terminal of Moscow's Vnukovo airport around noon. Photos show forklifts transporting pallets of large boxes from an aircraft to a warehouse. The media reports that the Il-76 plane belongs to Iranian company Poya Air, which is on the US sanctions list. The US Treasury Department says Poya airplanes are being used by Iranian authorities to deliver illegal cargo. Bild assumes that most likely a new batch of Iranian Shahed 136 kamikaze drones arrived in Moscow on Thursday. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine stated earlier that Iran's provision of weapons to Russia to wage a full-scale war makes it an accomplice to aggression and war crimes on the territory of Ukraine. In his evening video address, President Volodymyr Zelensky pointed out that despite admitting to the supply of drones to Russia, Iran still lied. Zelensky stressed that Ukrainian forces shoot down at least 10 Iranian drones every day, all while the Iranian regime claims that it allegedly supplied just a small amount of these drones. He added that Ukraine knows for sure that Iranian instructors taught Russians how to use drones and Tehran is generally silent about it. The president believes that if Iran continues lying about the obvious, it means that the world will make even more efforts to investigate the terrorist cooperation between the Russian and the Iranian regimes and what Russia is paying Iran for such cooperation. Volodymyr Zelensky informed that the fiercest fighting takes place in the Donetsk region, but he reminded that constant fighting continues in other parts of more than 1,000 kilometers of the front line as well. The president announced that in the coming weeks, Kiev expects good news regarding air defense and anti-missile defense for Ukraine. The president informed that next week Ukraine will launch another fundraising direction and will raise funds for a fleet of marine drones. Zelensky said that everyone had already seen how they work, meaning recent attacks on the Russian Black Sea Fleet. The president expressed confidence that millions of people will support this direction in Ukraine's defense. He stressed that Ukraine needs them only for the protection of its marine water area and claims nothing that does not belong to it. The General Staff of Ukraine informs that Ukrainian forces repelled enemy attacks in 14 areas of the Donetsk, Lugansk, Kharkiv and Zaporizhia regions, reports Grunt Media. During the past day, Air Force of Ukraine conducted 7 attacks against the enemy. 6 areas of concentration of personnel, weapons and military equipment, as well as the positions of the enemy anti-aircraft defenses, were affected. Ukrainian air defense units shot down 4 unmanned aerial vehicles. Mayor of Kiev Vitaly Klitschko has not ruled out a complete blackout in Kiev with no electricity, heating, water or communications at some point if Russian attacks continue, reports Union. He called on Kiev residents to stock up on drinking and industrial water, charge batteries, food supplies and warm clothes in their homes. The mayor recalled that about 1,000 heating points are planned to be deployed in Kiev, but noted that this may not be enough for a 3 million strong city. He asked residents to try to make arrangements so that in the event of a bad scenario, they could stay with their friends in private houses with individual heating and water supply for a while. If you like what we do and would like to tip us, you can now do so directly to our PayPal. Check out the link in the description to this episode for more details. And as usual, you can subscribe to our Patreon. In gratitude for your help, we will give you access to a series of exclusive episodes on wartime life in Ukraine. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.